The Oregon defense was one of the most improved units from 2023 to 2024. They acclimated quickly to the physicality of the Big Ten, and they had multiple contributors along the defensive side of the football. They had playmakers at all three levels of their defense that are going to get drafted pretty high. But one player who many people like in this draft class is edge rusher Jordan Burch. Burch was a player who has played a little bit of everywhere along the defensive side of the football for the Ducks and has so much potential for an NFL defensive coordinator. In a defensive line group that is rich with talented players, how high could we see Burch get taken in the 2025 draft class? That's what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide and big board with over 500 players. There, you guys will be able to find my written evals and scouting reports for each prospect with updated Combine and Pro Day numbers, player stats, and all the information you guys need to know to be successful this draft cycle. Leave a comment below and let me know which prospects you guys would be interested in seeing in the future, and without further ado, let's get into it. Burch has been with the Oregon Ducks since 2023 after transferring over from South Carolina. He's been a really solid player since day one for the Oregon defense. In 2023, he finished with 27 pressures, 3 sacks, 22 tackles, and 20 run stops on the year. His numbers were good, but in 2024, he really burst onto the scene. He finished with 32 pressures, 10 sacks, 14 tackles, 14 run stops, and a forced fumble on the year, and is a really interesting player down the board in this draft class. Burch has some really good size off the edge. He weighed in at 6'4", 279 pounds. With his size, I think it does make Burch a really versatile player, and Oregon saw a lot of the same things. He has the ability to play snaps off the edge, but he also shows the ability to line up inside and make an impact there. He's going to be a defensive coordinator's best friend because of how many different ways you can deploy him, and I think he's a really versatile defensive player. Burch has the ability to win with both speed and power. I thought he showed one of the best bull rushes in the entire draft class. There are times when he shows really good explosiveness off the line of scrimmage and just shows the ability to run over guys. But I also thought he showed good bend and the ability to win around the edge. Once again, goes into the versatility that he has where he can play inside and be that powerful run stuffer that you're looking for, but he also has the speed and bend to get around offensive tackles in a 4-3, and I love that about his game. I think Burch is a really good run defender. He was able to split offensive linemen and was incredibly impactful in the backfield. One of the most impressive things about it is just how reliable he is when he gets his hands on an offensive player. He had just a 4% missed tackle rate in 2024, which is absolutely insane. He is going to make a tackle if he touches you, and the Oregon State game in 2023 was the best example of this. He's so quick at times into the backfield and is so reliable as a tackler when he gets there that I absolutely love. One area I would say is a big wild card with Burch is his athleticism. There are times when Burch just explodes into the backfield and makes impact splash plays. But there are a lot of times when he just feels slow off the ball and the explosiveness is lacking. I think a big reason why Burch struggles is his inconsistent pad level. He generates a lot of his explosiveness and power from his lower body, so when he plays high, he is unable to generate that same explosiveness. His testing numbers were good at the combine, but there are certain things I would like to see on tape get better. I also worry about the lack of finesse moves. Burch wins a lot with his speed and his power off the line of scrimmage, but I think his hands are pretty stiff. Burch also has shorter arms, which makes it harder for him to consistently win with his length. I think if he was able to showcase a good swim or a spin move or just more swipes with his hands, it could take his game to a whole new level, And while it did get better in 2024, I still think it's very inconsistent, and he's got some areas he's going to have to improve upon. Jordan Burch is a really solid player. He's a great run defender. He has shown improvement year in and year out at rushing the passer, and he brings really good versatility to the line of scrimmage. I do think he needs to improve upon some of his pass rushing consistency, and I think his ability to diagnose the run at times can be up and down, particularly on counter run plays. But I do believe Burch will be a very good player in the NFL. He is my number 22 edge rusher in the draft class and my number 126 overall prospect. In terms of a scheme fit, we've mentioned it throughout the video multiple times, but Burch is a really versatile player. He can be a 3-4 defensive end, but I think that with his bend and ability to win more in one-on-one situations, he probably will profile best as a 4-3 defensive end. I think that's where his size and skill set translate his game the best and where he will see the most success at the NFL level. My player comparison for Jordan Burch is Green Bay Packers edge rusher Karl Brooks. Brooks was a favorite of mine just a couple of years ago when he was coming out of Bowling Green, and he went way under the radar in that draft class, but has been a nice contributor for Green Bay. He's a versatile defender who can play in both odd and even fronts. He's got solid bend and is a good run defender. They both have similar size, their measurements were nearly identical, and I think Burch could be a really similar player to what Brooks has been for the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Burch is a chess piece. I think he can and will play just about anywhere along the line and will be an instant contributor in the league. I'm a big fan, and ultimately, I believe that Jordan Burch will be a 4th round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.